get into the visual novel. Okay, good. Okay, so in general, it seems like it's okay. If anyone else wants to weigh in, please let me know. Otherwise, oh boy, I think we can get started here. I had to fix my hair there. It's getting kind of unruly. Even in the braids. And, oh my goddess, okay, we're getting a raid, Kazane. You did not have to raid me. I'm doing this so I can raid you. And also I see we have Sakura Cinnamon in the chat. I'm so glad that you were able to see one of my casts today. And I'm glad to have you here. You need to let me raid you. You're the one who needs the support right now, not me. I would hope that maybe you'll go live again, Kazane, sometime today, so that when I'm finished here, I can actually get you some more attention for your channel and things, especially because you recently reached affiliate, which is amazing and wonderful and one bit of good news. That's amazing, Sakura Cinnamon. I love that. I love hearing that people have actually found me due to all that Katawa Shoujo stuff on my YouTube channel. That makes me feel really good. It makes me feel like maybe I'm doing something a little bit right with the way I'm doing this content, or at least not, maybe just interesting is a better word. Okay. Let's load. Okay. So the chapter that we're going into, I think is pretty appropriate for today's theme. It's called Dissonance. So let's load it up. Short breaks are good, Kazane. I'm glad you're taking one. I just want to make sure that I get you all the help I can get you, especially because I'm only streaming a couple days a week. Okay. Once again, I find myself in front of the door to we're already off to a good start. Once again, I find myself in front of Hanako's door after another of her unexplained absences from class. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Hanako is one of the girls with a disability in this visual novel, and one of the things that makes Katawa Shoujo such a unique and important visual novel, for those of you who don't know and who may not have heard of Katawa Shoujo before, it is the only visual novel that has an entire cast of young women with various disabilities as dateable characters. And because they all have different disabilities, they all have different perspectives and different things that they struggle with. What's up, Rampage? I am doing a fundraiser for my friend Kazane right now. So, that is what we are doing today. We are going to be looking at more Katawa Shoujo. this is a very unique visual novel for that reason. And Katawa basically translates to disabled, aka, crippled girls, which is why some people don't like this visual novel because of Katawa being there. It's a slur. But all of that aside for the moment, this visual novel is actually quite unique because it's not just one character with a disability. It's every character, even the main male character, has a disability of his own. And the only other visual novel that I've seen, even in the works, that comes close to this is Katawa Shoujo's so-called spiritual successor. And I've been doing a little bit of research on that, and I actually am going to reach out to the studio again and see if they would let me help with that quote-unquote spiritual successor, because there are many people who are fans of this game who want to see another one like it, and I quite agree. I think we need many more games like this. This should not be the only good visual novel / romance game with disability as a main theme. This should not be all we have. I am so sorry to hear you have a headache. I hope it goes away soon. Also, thank you, Voido, for subscribing. You are amazing. Yes, there is a spiritual successor. Thank you so much, Voido, for your support. Please also consider supporting Kazane. She is going through quite a difficult time right now, which is one of the main reasons I'm trying to make this cast and any for the rest of the month be a sort of fundraiser to help her out. She has some extenuating circumstances right now. She kind of got double whammied with a family emergency, and then on top of that, an educational emergency because of the family emergency. And so I'm doing my best to try to help her raise some funds. And yes, Kali, she was able to reach affiliate, which I made mention of a few minutes ago. So that is amazing and wonderful, which means now people can subscribe to her and actually financially support her. But I think unless the application and stuff has already gone through, I think Kazane might still be waiting on things like that. But as far as I know, she reached affiliate, and that's amazing. And that's also why I want to support her by rating her later, so that she can have people supporting her channel financially and give her at least some way to get assistance. And she says, I'm getting approved right now. Okay, so it might be another day or two. Hopefully they don't drag their feet on this. So we're knocking at Hanako's door, and again there's nothing. Considering this is the second day in a row she's been like this, I'm starting to worry about her. And this is also because her friend Lily has been away on a family trip to Scotland. And so, without Lily being here, Hanako seems to also be kind of shutting down a little bit, at least. That's kind of my theory, or she may be having other things in her life that might be triggering some traumas for her. Hello, Sashi! Welcome! Welcome, sweetness! I'm so happy to see you. I am looking at some more Katawa Shoujo today But more importantly, I am helping out a friend and colleague of mine, Kazane, do some fundraising. She recently had to deal with a family emergency, and on top of that, some difficulty with being able to fund more of her college master's program. So I'm here doing what I can to help. Summoning my willpower, I decide to try one last way to get her to respond. Hanako, if you don't say anything, I'll go get the nurse for you. Okay, so I'm assuming that Hanako doesn't like the nurse. Then, that she might prefer to talk to Hisao over the school nurse. She says, I cannot help with money, but retweeted your live notification just now. Thank you so much, sweetness. That's all I really expect. I know most people will not be able to help out financially right now, but whatever I can do to help get her some visibility and some support, that's what I'm gonna try to do. Hanako says, go away. What? It's hard to tell whether her tone's one of depression, anger, or both. What in the world can I actually do to help her if she doesn't even want help? Good question. The message is clear enough. I can't just leave her like this, though. Just sitting in her room for days on end. Rubbing my temples in thought, I withdraw to my own room and think about how to proceed. Rationality is what's needed here, as an overreaction might just make matters worse. Well, I like how he's being sensible about the way he's thinking through this, instead of just having a reaction and not thinking about potential consequences. I dig around drawer after drawer of my desk, looking for where I put that damned piece of paper. Before she left, Lily told me a number to call her on while in Scotland, and I wrote it down. Now that I need it, though, the damn thing is... Here. Oh, thank goddess. Thank goddess we found the piece of paper that we need. I probably should have just entered it directly into my cell phone, come to think of it. Without further ado, I enter the numbers and anxiously press the call button. The fact that the phone rings at all, thank goddess for that, shows that I got the prefix for a call to Scotland right at least. I've never made an international call before, so that's some comfort. Yes, there are actual pictures, which, is one of the cool things about this visual novel. I wish that because the writing is it's well done, and I actually wish that they had a budget to really put into the art, because that would have made this even more beloved than it already is. And this is the visual novel that I like to contrast the other one with, If My Heart Had Wings. See, because If My Heart Had Wings has such a good budget. But for those of you who have been on those casts with me, with that freaking visual novel, you will know that the writing, not just the translation, but the writing and how they handle the disability aspect is atrocious. Not so with this visual novel. They actually handle it the way they should. Eventually, the phone picks up a feminine voice I don't recognize on the other end. It's probably Lily's mother. The writing was horrible. Yeah, that's an understatement. I remember your comments. Yeah, I don't think with how rage-filled I don't think with how rage-filled I got, I don't think anyone would forget what I thought about it anytime soon. And, Kali, you are correct, sir. It shows how bad writing can ruin good art. And this is why I say, not just as a writer, but as someone who reads and watches a lot of media, writing is just as important as good art. Because if you don't have good writing, it can spoil the whole damn thing. Sato. Sorry, that was the only way I could think of to read that. English. Suddenly finding myself unprepared, I realized I can't understand a word she says due to either my limited vocabulary or her heavy accent. I should have anticipated this, since according to Lily, her mother is a native Scot. Oh dear. This is exactly the kind of drama that you would have if you do not have any sort of magical ability to enhance your language. Enhance your language abilities. And I was not expecting the writing to look like that either. That's kind of why I had to read it like that. I soldier on in the hope that she must know some Japanese, considering it's her daughter's native language. It's Hisao Nakai speaking. An enthusiastic sound of realization can be heard as she recognizes the language. My feeling of relief is immense. Nice acting though, thank you. Thank you. You must be one of Lily's friends from school, correct? And that is Lily's mom, it looks like. Even so, her accent means I have to concentrate to work out what she's saying. Hisao says, yes, that's right. Pleased to meet you, Miss Sato. It's so nice of her to find someone so polite. Lily, dear, it's for you. Her mother seems nice, if a little overenthusiastic given the mundane situation. There's a small silence as Lily takes her time getting to the phone. In the distance, I can just make out her mother scolding her playfully for just getting up. Hello? Lily speaking? You sound awful. Oof. Well, Hisao, she did just wake up, and she might still be dealing with jet lag and other things. Who knows? She makes a sound somewhere in between a dying animal and a yawn. Oh no. The one thing I did remember to check before calling was the time zone. It'd be pretty late in the morning over there, so she really has no excuse. Well, excuse me, Hisao. Who died and made you king of what a woman does on the other side of the world when she's over visiting with family? Excuse you. Not feeling well? Just tired. What time is it there? Late afternoon. School finished for the day. Not long ago. You're really not a morning person, are you? Kali, I love that you're using my new emotes. My new old emotes. They have some animate magic on them now. I don't need you making fun of it as well. Yeah, Hisao. My goddess. Do we really need to be having this conversation right now? You're calling Lily to help Hanako out. It takes me a measure of restraint not to laugh at her pained groan. Poor girl. How are you doing over there? Doing over there then, bar the mornings. And Lily says, it's been enjoyable after not meeting them for so long. I just have a meal together with my, just having a meal together with my parents is nice. Okay, I'm gonna hydrate a little bit here because I can already feel things getting a little dry. Though the pool and the sheer size of the house might have something to do with that as well. Okay, another example of that she's rich. Sounds like me, says Bird. Not a morning person either. I'm not really either. I like to stay up late at night and work on things. So for me, getting up in the morning is like not. It's not an easy thing to do some mornings, especially if I've been up very late. Even if they're not in Japan, from the way it sounds, her family must be pretty wealthy to live so luxuriously. Okay. Thank you so much for this, Kazane. Kali, I don't know if you can help, make either another command for those, or I will just have to copy those over and post them, regularly, because I did not make a command with those in there as well, but let me see if I can quickly, hold on, let me see. I might be able to quickly add this. Okay. Then Colleen, I'm gonna leave it to you so I can focus on this since you're here. I hope you don't mind. Are things alright with you and Hanako? Says Lily. Damn, I was hoping that wouldn't be brought up quite so quickly. Why, dude? The whole reason you're calling her is because of Hanako, right? Unless you wanted to talk to your girlfriend, which this is pretty much what it's turning into at this point, because we are starting to realize that we have more feelings for Lily than just friendship. GoFundMe is a maze at times. Oof, okay, well, and then I guess it's gonna be a good reason to have those other donation links, just in case. I take a moment to try and sort out exactly how to describe the situation without causing her undue worry, but she picks up on that without a single word being said. Gotta give it to that insight. Sometimes you don't even have to say a thing to know that something's going on. Hanako's not well, is she? How did you know? Says Hisao. Because Lily's her friend, she would know. Because today's her birthday. I'd hoped she might have gotten at least a little better after coming to but how is she right now? She missed school yesterday and seemed out of sorts when I checked up on her. Today she missed school again, says Hisao, and just told me to go away. I've really got no idea what to make of it, says Hisao. Has this happened in the past? Is it related to her scarring in some way? Ah, very good, Hisao. Very actually astute of you. And if it doesn't have to do with the scarring directly, it might have to do with some of the family home environment that may have led to said scarring. Unfortunately so. Roughly the same thing happened last year when her birthday came up. Oh no. Oh no. Are those scars related to a birthday accident? I'm beginning to think maybe so. Then maybe there was something with the birthday cake candles or something and the whole house caught on fire. As far as I can tell, it's... Oh dear. Well, here we go. Forget any of my conjectures here. Here we go. As far as I can tell, it's because her parents died in the accident that caused her scarring. Also, Hanako blames herself for their deaths. Oh no. Akali, I almost wish that, it sounds a lot worse than that. Whatever it was to cause her parents to die from that sounds like a raging inferno that happened. What she says does seem to make sense. If she's blaming herself on her birthday, she might well be ruining that she was ever born. Hello, Nikki. Welcome, sweetness. Good to see you. You are right on time. I don't believe in people being late. I am helping my friend and colleague and CP sister Kazane today, and for the rest of the month with a fundraiser. She had a family emergency, and as a result is now also having difficulty paying for her continued participation in her master's program. So I am doing what I can to help her. The fact that Lily seems so in the dark about it, though, almost to the extent that I am, is a surprise. So that's why she lives in the student dormitories as well. Has she told you any more about the accident? As close as we've come, she's barely told me anything about what happened. And what I know about it is largely conjecture. She sounds depressed, almost defeated. Considering the trauma Hanako must have gone through, I really can't fault Lily for not knowing. Nevertheless, she still seems to consider it a personal failing. I'm glad that you saw that, Nikki. I don't expect everyone to be able to financially contribute because we all have our own things, but any shares or any awareness that I can help give to her situation is what I'm looking to do. Don't blame yourself, Lily, says Hisao, with everything she's gone through. Lily says, I know, thank you, Hisao. I'm sorry I can't be of more help to you. It's fine. I'll just give it some more thought. Thanks, and have a good time in Scotland. Says Lily. Hisao. Lily, it's nothing. Thank you for taking care of Hanako. Was she about to say that she misses him? I bet. It's almost like she was going to and then decided not to. Nikki, it's okay. It's okay. Hisao, okay, bye. Goodbye, says Lily. And with that, the line goes silent. Amid the seemingly only increased number of questions I can't answer, the most immediate is what Lily was going to say. Hisao, maybe that she misses you, that she loves you, something? Ooh, 'cause we gotta get the tension going on that. Oh no. I'm an idiot. She must have thought I was calling to talk with her, but I only asked for help with Hanako. Oh, oof. Well, at least he acknowledges that she might have interpreted that in maybe not a good way. Oops. Well, at least unlike our other main character, Aoi, at least this guy, Hisao, is more self-aware. I know you have a big heart, hon. I know you do. I do too. I really wish there was more I could physically and financially do other than what I'm doing right now, but this is the best I can do, given the other stuff I have going on at the same time. Even more shameful than that, though, is the fact that such an appraisal would be largely correct. Well, at least he's honest with himself here. Well, first things first, for now I need to at least sort out Hanako and make sure that she's actually eating okay. That's a good place to start. The occasional passing students give badly hidden glances at the plate of food I carry to the female dormitories. It's hardly a meal to be proud of, only being an instant microwave meal from the convenience store, but it should at least fill her up. Eventually, I arrive outside of her room, having to ward off a couple of girls who jokingly tried to pilfer the food I'd taken so long to procure. Oh, hells no. No, if that were me, I would just put my disc blades on and be like, back up! This food is not for you! I decided to forgo knocking since it was proven to be an utterly useless measure, and it's somewhat difficult to do with my hands full. Hanako, it's Hisao. I know you're listening. I've got some food for you. Disc blades, yeah. So, that's the other thing, is like my arcane disc is mostly just used for my transportation and access purposes. But my goddess, if you piss me off, or you do something that makes me think I need to protect myself, then all of these beautiful flame-like designs are gonna turn into something that can do some serious damage. But I don't think people would want to conjure me into that state of being. I would really advise against it. Silence, as expected. I'll leave it here beside your door. Please eat it at least, okay? There, I've said my piece, now it's up to her. Like my shards, lol. Yeah, pretty much. Oh no, Collie! That's pretty... That's pretty accurate. Yeah. Putting the plate down, I walk back to my own room to eat my dinner. By the time I return to Hanako's dormitory, a good hour has passed. Let me guess. The food has not been touched. Please tell me she actually came out of her room and got the plate of food. But given what I know of what Hanako's probably going through, as I have gone through something similar myself, and I have friends and loved ones who go through this stuff, it's probably going to be there untouched. If I'm being honest, but I hope not. Okay, thankfully, there isn't anything to be seen outside her door. I walk back at least somewhat happier that she's eating. Well, good. At least, hopefully, she ate something and she actually ate it instead of just taking it to her room and then throwing it in the garbage. If she intends to get through this by herself, then being able to help, even if it's in such a small way, is at least something. And we have another chapter, okay. Well, that was kind of quick. And we're in the library now. I sit reading in the library after school, turning page after page, rarely registering the words written on each out of sheer boredom. Oh dear. Well then, perhaps you should choose a different book. With my cheek resting in my hand, I can't help but noticing the slightly rough feeling against my palm. It won't be long before I'll need to get a razor and shave. Shave that beard, shave that mustache. More like a flat chainsaw, either way. Oh man. Giving up on reading, I simply let my head drop onto the book in front of me. Things have quieted down considerably since Hanako began attending school again. When she first returned to class, nothing was said nor done that wasn't part of the usual routine. Okay, so that's good. So what it means is that the other teachers and students know kind of what goes on with Hanako during this time of year. So they don't make a big deal out of it, which is really good because that's one fantastic way that you can make sure that you aren't contributing to someone spiraling further. Neither of us desired to bring up her accident, so there simply wasn't any point in pursuing it. Thus, a few days went by, the daily grind continuing just as it had before. It's only natural that my mind would wander to the other places, and more importantly, other people. The lily-shaped hole in the daily life of Hanako and me has been pretty noticeable for a while now. Oh, that's so adorable, the lily-shaped hole. That's so evocative. I can relate. When Kali and I aren't together, I feel the same way. It's like there's a Kali-shaped hole in my life. That's so beautifully expressed. I'd be pleased to say that this has allowed me time to refine just what my thoughts on her exactly are, but alas, I've had no such luck. It doesn't help that many attempts to do so have led to the troublesome topic of Iwanako. Every time my thoughts drift into that direction, I reflexively try to think about something else. And Iwanako is his previous girlfriend, not girlfriend, the girl that he actually asked out before he had his heart attack, his first arrhythmic episode. Why did this have to happen now? Because love is always inconvenient, Hisao. Love is never convenient. Most down people... Amanta. Oh no. Oh, Kali. Oh. And there's Yuko. I turn and look up to the source of the tentative voice coming from behind me. Sorry, I didn't mean to disturb anyone, says Hisao. And Yuko says, that's not it. Hisao, I glance around the orange-tinted room, quickly realizing how silly my apology must have sounded. In the time I've spent thinking and lazing about in here, everyone's well and truly left. Library closing? Says Hisao. Yuko says, if you don't want to go, I can keep it open a bit longer. It's no trouble at all. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at that later, Kali. Yes, she could use some headbands. She's adorable. She's an anxious little bean. Hisao says, don't worry, I should get going anyway. Thanks. As I get up and begin to move off, I feel Yuko's eyes drilling into my back. Hisao says, is there something wrong? Kali, has redeemed. Give all the head pats. Okay, let's conjure those mage hands. Boop, boop, and boop. All three of them. So that's gonna be fun. We're gonna leave those head pats going for a little bit here. Is there something wrong? Says Hisao. And Yuko says, You look depressed. Are you okay? No, I'm worried about love. I'm not okay right now. I'm thinking about the girl I love, but it's not love, is it? Or is it? And I'm gonna make my mage hands invisible right now. Let's see. Make sure I don't have a rogue one going. Yes, I do. Alright. Okay. Yuko nervously twists her fingers as she says this, unsure whether she's overstepping her boundaries or not. I really can't tell if she's more worried about my mood or about bothering me. Probably both. Because people who struggle with anxiety usually end up worrying from a little bit of both. Because they're used to being around volatile people who overreact even to their kindness. Normally I just shrug it off and assure her that I'm fine, but my reflective mood gets the better of me. Despite being staff, she really doesn't feel much like an authority figure, as much like an authority figure as the others. That could probably be a good thing. I don't really see that as a bad thing. It just means that she's more approachable. It's just, I guess the best term for it would be relationship problems. And Yuko says, "Oh, I'm not too good with that sort of thing. My only relationship ended a bit abruptly." "Hello, welcome. I'm doing well today. Just doing my best to help out Kazane, my friend and colleague, because as I'm sure you know, Omata, as I'm sure you know, she's been going through some difficulty. I wonder if it would be nice to head pat the characters. You know what? I think I can make that happen. Just give me a second. Yes, I can make that happen. Okay, let's see about it. We have some magic available to us, so let's call on the goddess. Goddess, let's get another mage hand. Let's see how this one works. There we go. We now have another mage hand. For anyone else, whether that's in a visual novel or even chat. So now we have a mage hand, an extra one, that can go to whomever. Goddess be praised. So we are now a little bit more powerful. That's what I figured. Because they're already so close to you, I figured they already knew the situation. So we have that wonderful new mage hand working out for us. Okay. Alright, so we see that Yuko is not gonna be good with relationship advice because, well, she didn't really have a good experience with her own relationship, which is kind of not good. But it also kind of shows that she might be another route, maybe, in this visual novel that you could take. But if you want to talk about it, I could listen, I think. Now I feel kind of bad for bringing it up. She's not that old though, so at least she has a good chance of finding another partner. I didn't think oldness had anything to do with finding a partner, but okay then. It isn't like we're in a bad situation right now, says Hisao. We've spent many days together as friends, sometimes going out to do stuff, that kind of thing. But I'm starting to want to do more for her, learn more about her, be with her more. I'm not sure whether it's actually love or not, though, and our friendship, as it stands, is enjoyable. Yuko says, you shouldn't let that stop you. Sorry. How to say this, I think that it's nice you have a good friendship, but school is going to eventually end. Do you think you'll be fine with not knowing if it could have gone further after you've graduated? I guess that's the crux of the problem. The heart of the problem. I really have no idea what the answer to that question is. Well, I can't really help there. What your true feelings are is something you have to decide for yourself. But I think that if you do love her, you should definitely say something. After thinking about it really hard, says Yuko, I've decided that even though my relationship didn't work out, it's still better that way than never knowing if it might have or not. This is really good advice, lords, ladies, and magic initiates. This is invaluable advice. It is better to take the risk and to know whether the answer is yes or no than to not know at all. You missed a little bit of stuff going on in this visual novel, but you didn't miss anything that I would say is like too exciting. We did learn a little bit more about how one of the other girls in this school might have come by her burns due to sort of a birthday-related accident. But other than that, you haven't missed much, other than we're kind of wondering about what our feelings are for Lily and whether we're starting to fall in love with her or not. I think this is really good advice, and I think it's really important. Especially because you never know what the answer is going to be to something unless you ask. You're never going to know. And especially with love. Especially with love. And I can attest to that because I was actually in a similar situation with Kali IRL. In that, because I wasn't sure if there was one point during our early relationship that I wasn't sure if he felt the same way that I did. There was actually a point at which I said to myself, well, if Kali doesn't let me know how he feels about me, then I'm going to. Because I didn't want to leave that question unanswered. So I can kind of relate to her advice. And I was prepared for Kali to reject me. I was prepared for him to say, no, you're a really amazing tiefling princess, and I love you to pieces, but not that way. I was expecting him to say that. Because I had quite a few other tieflings that I had been interested in before Kali came around as the only halfling. I actually had a few tieflings that I was interested in, and even a few elves, and I had asked them if they wanted to be in a relationship with me, and they pretty much were like, no, because number one, you're a princess, and that scares the crap out of us, and two, your wild magic is unpredictable. And so I was very, very, very sad. I was like, oh, okay. And I had pretty much accepted that I might never get a relationship because everyone else was just like, oh hell no. Like, we're not gonna deal with that. And I was just like, okay, whatever. And, but luckily, like, Kali came along and it was okay. And thank goddess for that, because, Kali is perfect for me in so many ways. And I'm so glad that he and I ended up being able to be together and create such a beautiful team. But anyway, Tiefy story time aside, it's better to know what would have happened than to wonder for the rest of your life if that could have been possible. I never expected Yuko to sound so wise. Why? Because she's shy? Because she doesn't give off this wise aura? That just goes to show you. You can't always judge a person by their main personality trait. It only makes sense that with more life experience than I, she had a better idea about this. So, well, that too. Remember, like, she may be shy, but she's older than you. So, even if she does have to work with anxiety, chances are she's been through a bit more life still. Well, I suppose not very much was actually answered. Talking to her has helped get it off my chest, and I have no doubt that I should confess if I really do like Lily. I give a slightly frustrated sigh. Hisao. If only reading so much actually helped when it came to situations like this. I can actually relate. There's only so much reading you can do to prepare yourself for a situation, and ultimately it's gonna come down to actually having to go through it. And making that mistake or that victory, no matter what it is. I'm putting some love in the chat right now for everybody. And welcome, General. Good to have you here. I don't know if I would say you missed anything good. I have started looking at more of this visual novel. We have been kind of, as the main character, kind of wondering about what our true feelings are about Lily. And we also did find out some more about Hanako and maybe where her burns came from. But other than that, we haven't had anything truly pivotal be revealed yet, except that we're still debating whether we actually love Lily or whether she's just a really good friend, and we've just gotten some advice from the librarian that says if we really do think we love her, we should think about confessing before school ends. I just sent Kazane a donation that I could. She deserves better. Thank you so much for sending whatever you could, okay? That's all that matters. And you don't even have to donate. It's just however we can support her is I'm gonna be happy with. I'm sure it will do wonders, Bird. I really think that Kazane and know that Kazane will be grateful for any and all help she gets. Thank you so much for doing that for her. She gives a girlish giggle, which only reinforces my view of her being different from the usual staff here. Well, she's the librarian. She's gotta be a little silly, right? I mean, I know that I can be a little bit serious, but I wouldn't want people to be so afraid of me that they wouldn't even come into the library, you know? So you can't be all seriousness all the time, not even in the library, I know. Shocking. In the end, it comes down to what will happen after school finishes once again. Considering what happened before I came to Yamaku, it feels like being asked to keep up with a field of runners, despite having started from a dozen yards behind them. I love that analogy. I really love that analogy. It's just one more motive to move on from the past. The last thing I need right now is to get too caught up in that and getting homesick while I'm at it. Once again, I find myself calling Lily. My phone bill is going to be horrific considering this is international. But hey, it's worth it, right? But it's worth it. I don't only want to smooth over her feelings from last time I called, I genuinely want to talk to her again. Ooh, we definitely must love her if we're gonna call her and use some long distance magic on our sending stones. When the phone finally picks up, I easily recognize the voice on the other end. Sato. Hello, Miss Sato. May I speak? Damn, I've forgotten how the rest is supposed to go. It's not encouraging to forget such a small amount of words, even if I didn't spend that long trying to memorize them. Oh no. May I speak with Lily, please? Hello again, Hisao. Are you teaching yourself English? Just a little. I don't think I'm too good at languages in general. Well, at least you're trying. Oh, don't say that. Your pronunciation was very good. I'll get Lily for you. Just wait a minute. I obediently wait as she goes off in search of Lily, the other end going silent. Eventually, a much more awake-sounding Lily than the last time answers. The time over there being past noon by now. Hisao, are you there? Yeah, I'm here. Hi. Good afternoon. Sorry for taking so long. I was outside in the garden. Gardening? Unfortunately, says Lily, I found I'm no good at it, so I just smell the flowers. I think my fingers appreciate it more. I take it Hanako's recovered a bit. Yeah, I just made sure she was eating, and eventually she righted herself. Thanks for the help the other day. I don't think I was really that much help. The main thing is that she's better, though. True. How's life over there, then? It sounds like you've been living in nothing short of a mansion. I wouldn't call it a mansion, says Lily. But it's rather large, as obviously wants to say, though modesty stops her. I'm a little envious, but it is her holiday. It's a nice house to stay in, though. There's a beach near here, too, which Akira is especially fond of. She's a swimmer? Of course she is, Hisao. She has to be. She kind of has that sporty blondness. Come on. She's constantly dragging me there to have swimming competitions, says Lily, which she wins every time. Lily doesn't strike me as very athletic at all, so not being adept at swimming seems logical enough. Well, you're also not very athletic, so there's that. The fastest I've ever seen her move is her understandably relaxed pace during her walks to and from the suburbs, down the hill from the school. It makes the image of her swimming hard to imagine. And I see Bird is over there in my chat doing his lovely thing as always. Thank you so much. The beaches there must look nice, says Hisao. They'd be less crowded than the ones around here, at least. Indeed. Akira says the area around here looks beautiful because it's so far outside the city. I've only realized what I've said after I say it, but it doesn't bother her at all. It's still easy to forget that she can't see when she's not around, despite the time we've been friends. That said, the local accent sometimes makes communication a bit hard. It's a constant reminder that this isn't home. While the fact that she doesn't consider her parents' residence to be her home makes good sense, it makes me realize that I can't really answer whether the same goes for me. Graduation from Yamaku is distant enough to be difficult to view objectively, and I've spent so much time in this small room. I've come to accept the dormitory as my new home surprisingly quickly. Hisao says, I guess that would be hard to deal with. Is your knowledge of English holding up? Thankfully, says Lily, I may be fluent, but being in a position where I have to use it often helps in curbing my Japanese accent, so it's been useful practice. I hear you're trying to teach yourself English. More like memorizing a few lines and failing at even that much. I'm really not cut out for learning another language. Hisao, stop it. Stop it right now. Languages take time. Go easy. Languages are not something that you just learn overnight. Taking another little hydrate here. My admission of defeat draws an amused giggle. I believe that there are things one chooses to do in life, and also things that are chosen for one to do in life. You can take comfort in the fact that you're better than me in science and math at least. I love the fact that the visual novel just said that. That you have some things in life that you will be good at no matter what your difficulties are. And then there will be things that no matter how much you try to get better, you might not always improve the way that others are able to improve. And I think that's a really important message, especially in this visual novel about people with varying disabilities, is that we all have our strengths. Whatever those are what we are good at, and we can work toward having more strengths. But we should also remember that, like everyone else, we will have simply some things that we may never be as good at as other people, but it does not mean we don't have value, and it also doesn't mean we shouldn't try to do our best. Lean on others, educate yourself, respect others, and never give up. Yes, that's another good one. All that's helped in is making me Muto's star student. I wouldn't worry about it, says Lily. They're useful skills for many jobs, right? Hisao says that's what he tells me. His face veritably lit up when I said I'd probably go into a career involving either. We both share a warm laugh at the events that have befallen each other on opposite ends of the world. It's nice and reminds me of our simple small talk that I've been missing since she left. Each of us waits for the other to begin speaking. I decide to push ahead with my feelings. I can feel my throat tightening slightly. Oh no, I can't relate to this. I really can't. I miss you. Oh, this is so cute. I love this. Do it. Confess your feelings. The silence on the other end of the phone tells me she's given the words their due weight. But as it goes on, I can't help feeling more and more apprehensive. Thankfully, the silence ends almost as quickly as it had begun. Ah! I miss you too, Hisao, says Lily. Oh, it's so cute! Goodbye. Well, that was quick. Wait. Are we really ending the phone call on that? Goodbye, Lily. Oh no. Wait. Huh. How did I meet Kazane? Well, that's an interesting story. Because it was actually Kazane who reached out to me. And I actually met her because of that. I got a message in my Twitter inbox from her one day saying that she was another VTuber with cerebral palsy and that she had been looking for people in the VTubing community like herself, as she also had cerebral palsy and who were doing like disability related content. And so she said that she had been hoping to find someone like me, and that when she finally did, she decided to write me and hoped that I would answer her. And so of course I did, and that was a really amazing feeling. And I was like, wow, someone actually found me based on what I do, and they also like doing what I like to do. And so it was this really amazing like experience of just like somehow meeting like two stars in the vastness of the Twitter sphere. I can see that as well. I actually think, Sakura Cinnamon, I actually think that's where they're gonna go with this. They're gonna save the I love you confession until they're in person. And I think that's gonna be obviously around where the visual novel ends. They're gonna save that for the very, very end, because that's what you do. Because this is a romance and, semi-erotica visual novel after all. So, of course, they're gonna save that I love you until very close to the end. It's because of my cheerfulness and always giving off a positive vibe. Well, I try. I am about positivity. I try my best. I don't always have good days, but I always try to do what I can to make the world at least a little better than I found it. Once again, the phone is hung up simply and without any further ado. That light, tentative, almost shy voice, her warm and soft tone. I'd simply be lying to myself if I were to say that I don't recognize this feeling for what it is. With thoughts of Lily dancing on my mind, I start anticipating her return. Today has been a most excellent day. Yay, okay, good. Another chapter done! End of chapter, Wiggles. Let's go. I sit listening to another of Muto's long-winded lectures, my mind wandering far from the scribbles on the dirty blackboard. Since I called Lily, my mind's been drawn in two directions. Both roughly lead to the same conclusion. I've started to feel oddly detached from my past life. It's only been a month and a half since I arrived here, yet this school has become a second home. I've gained new friends and contacts, managed to get to grips with the school's lifestyle and culture, and become accustomed to the quirks of my classmates. To become used to a school where disabilities are the norm, rather than the rare exception. I love that, by the way. Still catches me off guard sometimes when I think on it. The same school that's populated by burn victims, amputees, the blind, the deaf, and all manner of disabilities in between. If someone had described the school to me before I'd come, I'd have shrugged it off as an overactive imagination. When I first arrived, I felt like the Dutch, coming to a strange new land for the first time. I did have a great school life. I enjoyed going to school immensely. High school, college, those were the best times of my life. Of course, I was the only student with a disability in most of my high school and middle school and before then, and I actually only started to meet other people with disabilities when I went off to college. It's amazing how quickly one becomes used to the environment they're forced to live in, really. And now I've found someone that's got me entirely smitten. What a strange life. Before my mind can wander any further, though, I find a page of lined paper slipped under my distracted face. The garish, bright pink ink has no doubt been penned by Misha. Of course it has! Don't look so bored, Hee-chan. School's nearly over. 3-day holiday. Oh, right. We get Saturday and Monday off. Can't complain about having less school, I suppose. I uncap my pen and scribble on the page before covertly passing it back to her, flicking my eyes to the front of the class every now and then. I have a feeling the teacher is going to realize that you're passing notes. With my perception, you're lucky that I am not your teacher right now, because otherwise I would be at the front of the class on my desk and you would suddenly see this. Hisao, Misha, are you passing notes in my class? Please come to the front and hand them over. And then I'm going to talk to you after class. Muto continues scrawling away arcane equations and formulas on the board. I know that he means like old math problems and such, but I'm not gonna lie, my brain briefly went to all those arcane formulas that my father-in-law was trying to teach me, and still is to some degree, being that he is a high wizard. Of course, he has high expectations. I'm guessing you have something planned, is what we wrote back. Misha takes the paper back and hunches over it comically, even for her, with her tongue poking out through the side of her mouth. I can see it. Did she misinterpret my expression as depressed, and is she trying to cheer me up? Student council work with Shi-chan, of course. You're not still brooding over that, surely. But Hee-chan could have helped us poor lonely girls. Oh, she looks upset. She never got over that. Okay, so when we get done with this route, I think we're gonna have to do the Shizune and maybe even Misha route next, because they have not forgotten that one time they roped us into the student council stuff. I'd lend you a hand today if I weren't going to be busy. Oh, naughty, naughty, Hee-chan. My goodness, what is going on here? I love Misha. She's another one of my favorites. I'm one of those people that believes I can change the world, and I don't give up. People could call me stubborn to a fault sometimes. Remind me never to get on your bad side. Believe me, you won't, okay? It takes a lot for people to get on my bad side. I am often very patient and very forgiving, but there is a certain breed of people that just, they just know how to get under my skin. But I don't think you'll need to worry about that. I would hate to have you as a teacher, but only because I'm lazy and it would be impossible to get away with anything. Well, let's put it this way. I might be able to positively motivate you. That would be the hope. Like, if you were in my English class, I wouldn't just be like mean to you. I would try to motivate you. And I would try to like maybe open your worldview a little bit and be like, come on, things can be fun. I'm just gonna meet Lily with Hanako. Okay, good, she's coming back. Yay, I'm so excited. I'm gonna meet Lily with Hanako. I don't know what you've got going through your head. So Lily's back. Yeah, she's coming on the evening flight with her sister. So she'll be back in school next week. Ooh, exciting! Yay! As she takes the gnome back and begins to write, I look up to see an unwelcome sight. Is it the teacher? Is it the teacher looming down at you going, Hisao? Are you passing notes in my class? Is that what I'm seeing here? You passing notes in my class, Hisao? Don't worry, Kazane. I'm gonna be streaming for at least another hour or so. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No! I was a good student. I was a model student. I always did my homework, and I always paid attention in class. Of course, I don't think that should be a surprise. I knew it! I knew it! Uh-oh. While frantically trying to silently catch Misha's attention, Muto confidently strides through the gap between the desks. From the front of the class, his intent gaze focused directly on her. Oh no! Oops. We might have just made it impossible for her to do her student council activities. She suddenly stops writing as his impossibly long shadow comes over the page. He silently takes the piece of paper from her and begins to read. Sweating bullets, I quickly glanced around the class, noting their complete silence. Of course, it would just have to be the one thing that actually gets their attention during the lesson. After a scant few seconds examining the page, he rolls up the paper into a small tube and lightly bops Misha over the head with it. Bop! Ugh. We're probably next. Let's get ready for it. We're gonna be next. Maybe? Okay, let's see what he says. Muto, half an hour until you can hop off to student council. I think you can hold on until then. Misha's face cracks as the entire class erupts into laughter. He might well be awkward, but he knows how to handle her excellently. I'd probably feel sorry for her if I wasn't stifling my own laughter. What about Hisao? Like, he should get in some trouble too because he was the one also passing the note, man. What the heck? Okay, so Misha is the only one getting the bop. Alright, seems fair. Not really. Yeah. No, you certainly couldn't do that, not even in a playful way, which is the other reason why I have such a problem with that other visual novel. That's like, they're trying to pass off these physical altercations as if they're not serious, and yet the social climate has changed in such a way that it's like, especially as a teacher, you can't be doing that kind of stuff, even if you're not being serious. So we're already at the airport. We're here with Hanako, who looks cute as always. Hisao, is that one it? No, I think that's some foreign airline. And so the third aircraft they're not on comes in to land. For the past half hour, we've been whiling away the time with small snippets of pointless chatter. Lily and Akira's flight has been delayed, and at this rate it'll probably be dark before their plane arrives. I know, they kind of really sped us through that. We were in the class, and now we're at the airport, so I mean, there wasn't really a transition scene, but then again, we don't always have really elaborate transition scenes in this particular visual novel. Although they could have made mention that, oh yeah, we took a taxi or we took a bus. So I will at least agree with that maybe they could have done a little bit more to kind of signal the transition. No, the company colors are wrong about yet another airplane. Hanako's eyes flutter left and right, following the trickle of people in and out of the huge glass doors ahead of us. Fortunately, no one pays her much heed, their attention apparently directed towards greater things. I know, it was a little bit disjointing, wasn't it? Maybe that one, is it? No, I think that's... Hold on a minute. That one might be it after all. It takes still some more time before the billboard changes their flight status to disembarking. A loud yawn sneaks upon me, not allowing enough time to stifle it. My sleep patterns have once again been all over the place, likely due to a mix of worrying about Hanako and the side effects of my medications, which he is on a lot of medications due to his heart arrhythmia. And Hanako says, Hisao, over there. I look to Hanako, then follow her gaze to the airport door, and there they are. And here's Akira, one of my favorite. Oh, Lily, they're here. She's my favorite, blah. Lily says, really? Yeah, there's Akira in her nice suit. We call out to each other in greeting, quickly shuffling over to the side to avoid blocking the passage of others. Lily, says Hanako. Hug. Hanako jumps forward to hug Lily, a wide smile on her face being all that's needed to see her happiness. At Lily's return, Lily simply smiles in return, her voice soft. It's wonderful to meet you again, Hanako. As the two girls give each other a hug, well deserved after all that's happened while she was gone, I turn to Akira. Yo. You're pretty late. Yeah, there was a really bad storm over the airport. We got drenched just going from the car to the door. I guess you'll appreciate the weather here more then. Welcome back to you too, Lily. Hanako breaks off from Lily as I speak. For a long time, neither of us says a word. Contrary to what I thought her homecoming would be like, the atmosphere feels awkward, almost stifling. Uh-oh. Both of us try to guess each other's feelings, not quite sure about what should be said. Damn, this is exactly what I feared when I thought of trying to move things forward between us. Lily runs her hand through her fair hair and awkwardly twirls one of her bangs in her fingers, clearly trying to think of how to react. Oh dear. Eventually, thankfully, Lily gives a small sigh and breaks the silence. Thank you, Hisao. It's nice to be back. Hanako says, are you okay? You look tired. Evidently not recollecting herself all that well, she quickly waves her hand in front of her face to stave off any concern Hanako may have had over her. I'm okay, really. It's just a bit of jet lag. Akira, weak. Wow. You don't have any... I don't know, maybe Akira's just tough like that. Maybe Akira does enough flying and whatnot that they're used to it. She simply gives a big grin, puffing out her modest chest. Yep, total blah. I feel absolutely fine. That's not fair, says Lily. Haha, oh well, you shouldn't take too long to get rid of it. Ah, that's right, Hisao? Yeah? Don't we have a holiday from school soon? I'd forgotten if Misha hadn't reminded me this morning. We've got a 3-day weekend starting from tomorrow. Akira playfully bumps her elbow into Lily's side, grinning. Told you wouldn't miss it. Hisao says, you have something planned? Lily says, if neither you nor Hanako are busy. And Hisao says, I've got no plans, so something to do would be appreciated. Hanako. Hanako says, no, nothing. And Lily says, that's good. I was thinking we could go to my family's summer house for a bit of quiet over the break. Ooh, going to the family summer house, just the three of us. Ooh, sounds romantic. We've rarely used it recently though, so we'd have to dust things off for a little while we're there. Oh, where is it? Up north in Hokkaido. The place is practically deserted, so it should be a nice quiet break for you guys. You're not coming? Hell no! Akira's probably got things to do. Nah, got a little holiday of my own set up with my boyfriend. Oh my. Boyfriend, huh? Well, it's cool that she's got a boyfriend. I'm glad that she has someone who loves how tough and cool she is. That's amazing. I lower my eyes at her, suspicious of her intentions. It sounds like we're just cleaning up the summer house for you. Oh, oof. The outfit on the right would look so good on you. Which one? On the very right? The one that Hanako's wearing? Well, at least that's to my right. Because I am left-handed, so there is that. Ah, yes. Okay, Hanako's outfit. Yeah, I guess that would look pretty good on me. I frankly think I would look good in a full suit, but you know, that's just me. That's just me. That is perhaps a valid conclusion, says Lily. Oh no. Both of us zero in on Akira. Her face somewhat evasive. Looks like we're right. Oh no. That's just a convenient bonus, really. Me and the guy left it in pretty good condition last time we were there, I promise. Oh my. Just what were you and the boyfriend doing in the summer house? Maybe a little bit of comfy, cozy, intimate time? That's what I would be doing there if I took Collie somewhere like that. Now then, I'm out of here. Good dodge. Already, Akira, says Lily. She quickly turns and walks away, her hand held high. I'm glad I can make people laugh. I know I'm a little bit of a nerd, but it's okay, right? See you in a few days, guys. Lily and I can only sigh at her hasty retreat. I think the outfit I picked would look good on you. It suited your personality. A suit, no way. Would be, I would make you look like a boyfriend. So heck yeah, I would go for that, man. That would be so cool. Honestly. Oh man. Okay. It does sound like it would be a nice place to go to. And I misread that. It does sound like it would be a nice place to go, says Hanako. Lily gives an enthusiastic nod, taking her carry bag in one hand and placing her other on Hanako's shoulder for guidance as we begin to make our way back to the taxi area. After the fracas of the past few days, spending a weekend in the country alone with her and Hanako sounds like a dream. It does. It almost makes me want to just go away from the castle for a few days and just get a vacation. But I have work to finish up first. That's the first time I heard you laugh. Glad I could make you laugh. You so needed that. I did. I tend to get a little bit too serious sometimes, so it's good to get me laughing as well. And we're gonna hopefully maybe be able to confess our feelings. And we have another chapter, so chapter wiggles, let's go. So, maybe we will get up the courage to confess at the summer house. here we are at a train station, which it looks like we're gonna be taking some form of train and probably other transportation to reach the summer house. This novel is very good. It's very well done. I think the dialogue, the narrative, and the way that they handle various disabilities is spot on. The music is pretty good too. It's nice that they kind of change it up enough throughout the series so that you don't get kind of bored by only having certain kinds of music. The morning chill wraps itself around my shivering body. I huff into my cuffed hands to desperately try to stave off the cold as we mill about on the station platform. Lily's clothing looks rather ill-suited for the temperature around us, probably because the temperature is going to change a little bit or a lot by the time you get to Hokkaido. I can only hope it's indicative of what she expects the weather to be like at our destination. So, damn it, Lily, why did we have to get here so early? Why are you yelling at her? It's not like she's in control of that. I think you should go back to writing and do a novel of this caliber. I think I should get back to doing some writing as well. I actually have done some writing related content on Twitch. I haven't done so recently, but I have had a lot of people, even on my writing streams, being like, you know, you should write for a game, or you should write a visual novel, or a novel, things like that. So I will definitely get around to doing that once I finish at least with one route in this visual novel. And then some of the anime I'm looking at, I should definitely make a little bit more time for writing than I have been, but I've been very short on time this month trying to do all the content that I wanted to do and make a little more progress on these long-running things like this visual novel that I've been doing off and on for about a year now. Unfortunately, the train schedule is against us. The next train to Hokkaido is at 2 in the afternoon. Oh no, so we're gonna be waiting around here for a while. Great, just great. Hey, maybe you could go to a convenience store. Maybe you could go to some other shops while you wait. I don't know. I pause a moment to wipe some sleep out of my eyes, and Lily promptly takes advantage of the opening. Cheer up, Hisao. Once we get there, it'll be much warmer. I know, right, Collie? I agree with that. Or go on a local date with the girls. Yeah. Why not? You have two beautiful women here with you. Why not? Why not just take the bullet train? A normal train is going to take hours to get us there, so we might as well take the Shinkansen line as far north as it goes, just switch at the end. There's a certain charm to older trains, wouldn't you agree? Hisao says, I'd agree if I weren't freezing in the morning cold because we decided to take one. I kinda agree with him because cold does not work very well with my muscles. It is physically painful for me to be out in the cold. I know how bad waiting out in the cold is. I had to wait 1 hour at the bus stop in the cold a few years ago. And so did I. I've been there. I've had to wait on carriages out in the cold. I've had to wait on various forms of transportation. It's not fun. And with my cerebral palsy, it's even worse because all the muscles start getting really tight and even more spastic than they normally are. Not a fun time. Exactly, Colin. Exactly. Oh no, that's so cute. I love the fact that some of my emotes are animated now. That's so great. Oh my god. I'm sorry, Hisao, says Hanako. Sorry? What for? I was the one who suggested taking a normal train. Way to make me feel guilty. All I can do is sigh and cover my face with a hand. Well, okay. Wow, Hisao. Alright. Somebody is not a morning person either. It's fine. I'm just grumbling. My, Hanako. You needn't shoulder all the blame yourself. Even without your suggestion, I'd still have opted for the same thing. Thankful for the quick interception from Lily, I take a quick gander around the station. Aside from us, the train's platform is all but deserted, the morning dew settling on the empty benches. I guess no one else was masochistic enough to brave the very early morning. I at least had insulated pants on, so not too bad, but in blue jeans, oh man, oh no. See, that's why I try to avoid being out in the cold as much as physically possible, even with cold weather gear on, because I still don't do well in it. Though if someone was, they'd more than notice the huge bags both Lily and Hanako brought with them. Hisao says, just what did you have to pack in those things anyway? The bags? Probably pretty sexy clothing, for the vacation, because it's just gonna be the three of you, She pauses a moment and tilts her head and thought, also maybe groceries and other things like that, who knows? I would prefer the warm, personally, over the cold, but if you like it, more power to you. A change of clothing, raincoat, underwear, sleepwear, a number of books. I think that's most of it. Of course, books. We have to have books. Well, I don't know about a threesome, but since he's planning to confess to her, and I think she's probably already getting the vibe, why not? I mean, if you're starting to like somebody, why not pack some pretty clothes? And in my kingdom, a group of people deciding to love on each other is not necessarily unheard of. Hisao says, you make it sound as if I'm unprepared. Colleen, this is a good point. Having more than one partner in kind of idea or in principle sounds like maybe a fun time, but in actual practice, it can be very difficult to navigate properly, and you have to make sure that everyone involved is mature and can handle the situation. I'm not surprised, Kazane, but I'm glad to hear that, because it means I'm not the only one that's struggles with that kind of stuff. Well, probably Hisao, because you only packed what you physically need. You packed probably only one change of clothing, maybe not even that. I don't know. Sometimes guys can be a little bit, utilitarian that way. I know that my IRL dad can be that way sometimes, and my IRL twin brother can be that way sometimes, where they'll pack like only what they need. They won't pack like extra. You brought less underwear and a pack of cards. That's it. Wow. I am a sis to a lot of people. Yeah. In my VTubing life and in my real life and in my lore life. Would I move to Japan? I probably wouldn't move there like permanently, but I might go visit. I have a friend who decided to move to Japan and she loves it there. I would love to go visit Japan someday. It would be interesting to see how wheelchair and arcade disc accessible like Japan would be, because I know that my little Sakura bean would like to go to Japan sometime too. So it would be interesting to see how accessible going to Japan is for her sake. So I don't think I would ever like move there, but I certainly would like to go visit sometime. So that is truly bare bones. I don't even think my twin brother Owen, who is a famed archer and now now sort of an elven tiefling prince, I don't even think my brother Owen would go off into the woods with just a fresh pair of underwear and a pack of cards. We were talking about a threesome and I saw the abbreviation CP and was like, yeah. See, that's the thing, is like, that other abbreviation is not where I go with CP at all. Ever, because that's just the way that I have always referenced my diagnosis. So this is one of the ways that it really sucks when like internet culture like makes an abbreviation also mean other things, because then I'm not really able to use the abbreviation I want to use because of like what the internet had to do to that, and it sucks. It's like, no, that's not for child prawns. Okay, I have cerebral palsy, not child prawns, okay? So, I hate the internet. But I don't know, given how Japan and Japanese people can sometimes be about like disability and accommodations, I'm kind of nervous about how much of Japan I could actually explore. Japan sounds so much fun. They have great novels, anime, and everything else. I think you have a good idea for a novel while there, and I feel like you're in this novel. I mean, I can see that for myself as well. I mean, I learned some Japanese when I was in high school, and my sensei very much just enjoyed how much I got on with the culture and how much I really took to learning stuff. But yeah, I would love to go visit. It's just going to be interesting to find out how accessible it is or isn't. Kyoto is accessible. That is good to know. What about a place like, Tokyo? Is that, like, accessible too, or is it kind of not so much? See, because I would worry about the bullet trains and things like that and whether they're accessible or not. I think it's more wheelchair friendly than it used to be. I hope so. I think I've learned too much about Japan's other side to even consider going there on vacation. Oh no. And my pills, but never mind that. Good. I hope they are. I would hope so. Because if not, that's gonna be a huge barrier. No pajamas? Damn, I knew I forgot something. Hisao. My goddess. Did not even bring pajamas. As I ruffle my hair in frustration, Lily sighs. There should be clothes you could use there. Akira still occasionally goes there after all, and I think some of our parents' clothing is still in storage. Hisao is going to sleep naked! What's wrong with that? I mean, sleeping naked is good sometimes. I mean, if the weather's hot, why bother sleeping in anything, right? It's more comfy to just sleep without anything on. I'm just saying. Lily says, I don't think there'll be any problem with you borrowing a set of pajamas if need be. Shinkansen are accessible. Good to know. I'm so glad. Oh no, Colin! No! If you do clip it, make sure it's nice, okay? Please. Don't make anything lewd, otherwise I'm gonna have to be like, yeah. You are gonna clip it. And now it's gonna be there for eternity, isn't it? Thanks. Still, I don't mind just sleeping in my normal clothing, or he could do that too. My twin brother does that a lot. Especially when he's like out in the woods, you know, doing hunting and stuff. Yeah, my goddess, he just goes ahead and sleeps in his clothes. He doesn't even bother like having any other sort of change of clothes or whatever. For 2 days. Hisao, you are gonna be smelly. You're gonna need to wash those clothes. Good point. Oh no. Not really. 2 days would be borderline. It's more that looking even a little like a slob would be unacceptable while in the presence of 2 girls. Oh my god. Bad images in your head. Oh dear. It's for the musk. Ew. I mean, I like a bit of musk, you know? Like a bit of that is nice. A bit of the sexy smell is nice, but like not so much, you know? Just a little light whiff. You know, about that, actually it was like Kali's smell that actually made me fall in love with him. In addition to his wonderful personality, it's just like the way he smelled naturally. I was just like, oh, he smells so good. So, I mean, a little bit of body smell is not bad. I'm just saying. Just, you don't want so much that it's like overpowering, but a little body smell is good in my opinion. Yes, pheromones. Yes, absolutely. As we leisurely talk on the station platform, an announcement sounds from the loudspeakers, loudly heralding our ride's arrival. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much for being here. I'm just working through a little bit of a visual novel by the name of Katawa Shoujo. Looking past Lily and Hanako, though, the train's still well out of sight. A quick check of my watch is enough to see that it's the one we'll be taking. The 5:30 train was ours, right? Says Hisao. Lily, correct. Hisao says, either of you want me to take your bags? Mine's not exactly heavy. Yeah, with your one pair of underwear and a deck of playing cards. My, that's very gentlemanly of you, Hisao. And I am also currently doing this cast as a fundraiser for my friend in case you did not see and did not know by the title of the magic I'm working today. But either way, welcome to the cast. I hope you get comfy. I am Shadow, the Lonely Demon King. Nice to meet you. Good to meet you as well. Glad to have you here with me today. Demon King or no, as long as you're friendly, you are welcome here in my chat. Oh no. Let me read what Bird says here. Oh no. No, I have not smelled a dead skunk. I'm kind of glad. Oh no. That's horrible. And don't accept too reluctantly now. Jeez, well then don't offer, okay? As I bend down to pick up Lily's large bag, I look up to see Hanako picking up hers. You're fine with that? Says Hisao. A silent nod's the only answer. I'm starting to get the feeling that by the trip's end, I'll be able to count every sentence. Every sentence she said on one hand. Oof. Wow. Kinda rude, given what you know about her, Hisao. Come on. Ah! Cool! Okay, we have a little animated thing. This is amazing. We don't have very many animated scenes like this. Very, very cool. I love this. And look, she's playing with our deck of cards, it looks like. Or some that she brought on her own. Maybe that's more the case. With the morning landscape passing by the window and the occasional rattle of the train bumping the carriage around, I try to focus my attention on the aging playing cards held in my hand. I did get bullied a little bit as well as a kid, but not as much as I know some of my friends were, but this visual novel is very good. I like it a lot. Hisao, I'll raise you 5. Hanako, She scrunches her face up and leans over to Lily conspiratorially, the two exchanging a few whispered words. Considering how often this has happened so far, I'm coming to doubt Hanako's grasp of how to play poker. You are probably correct, sir. She probably does not know how to play poker very well. Yes, that is true, and why this novel and more like it are needed, exactly. And why it's kind of sad that this is one of the few, if not only, visual novels that is tackling the disability perspective with any kind of knowledge or awareness or compassion or dignity. So there we go. I think it's dealt with bullies fairly well. We really haven't had to deal with much of that in that way. We really haven't had much in the way of what I would constitute a bully per se. It doesn't seem to disturb Lily's reading though, her hands flitting over each page with only occasional corrections to account for the train's bumping and rocking. My collection of chess pieces that we're using as chips is steadily growing anyway, so it doesn't really bother me. Looking around us, our carriage is almost as empty as the station platform we'd waited for the train itself on. Only a handful of people can be seen, looking mostly like tourists and couples on holiday. No bullies yet so far, says Kali, which is good, I guess. Reason why is probably due to the school being hyper-focused on students with disabilities. Yep. So in that way, you wouldn't really necessarily have students kind of bullying each other necessarily in the same way. Lily reminds you of how you would be if you were sleeping. That's pretty cute. Yeah, I can definitely see a little bit of myself IRL in her too. While the two continue their less than clandestine strategizing, a small boy looks over the seat and stares at me. Hoping he doesn't begin to stare at Hanako, I simply wave at him and smile. Oh dear. Drink some water. I will definitely do that. But that doesn't mean there isn't tension between students, which there is definitely. The Shizune versus Lily rivalry comes to mind. Yep, Shizune and Lily do not get along. And there are some family-related reasons for that, also like school and personality-related reasons too. Thankfully, he retreats back to his seat after finding me far too boring to waste his attention on. Well, good, I guess. Hanako says, I'll see you and raise you another 5. Damn, you got me. I fold, says Hisao. I've been bluffing, and she's caught me. Hanging my head, I push over a large portion of my winnings. Hanako looks absolutely delighted, even if Lily keeps her attention focused on her reading material. I can see the smirk on her face. They're both extremely pleased. For a moment, I try to work out what Lily's reading, but the cover is too faded to read beyond the fact that Roman letters are on it. A pity I can't read the braille above the printed title. Hisao, what are you reading, Lily? The title looks like it's in English. That's right. It's And Then There Were None, an old British story. I could read it to you if you like. That would be great. I would love to be able to do that for somebody, and I will never pass up an offer to be read a story if I were in Hisao's place. Lily is blind. Fully blind. So she is actually reading using a full braille system, which is really neat. She extends the offer with a grin, obviously in jest. I think I'll pass, thanks. Aw, man. Oh, very nice. I like it. Looks like it might be a little hard for someone like me to get inside of that though, even with my arcane disc, but it looks cozy. I probably would not be going up on any of the upper floors though. After a seemingly endless trip, we finally reached the promised land of the Sato summer house. Even after the train trip, the walk up seemed to take forever. Quite the away home, I know. Braille can be hard to learn. I had a kid show me how you read. It's not easy. Well, like any language. And Braille, if you think about it, is a kind of language. It's a kind of writing. Any new writing or language system is going to take time. And you probably will make out a little bit better if you start early reading Braille than if you start later in life. But still, if you really wanted to learn, or in Lily's case, if you needed to learn, it would take effort and time. Despite my grumblings, though, I'd never guessed the sight that would be in store for us once we traveled that long, deserted road. It looks more like a farmhouse than the everyday house I'd imagined, small in size and surrounded by trees and bushes. I need to go to work now. It was nice to be finally a part of one of these. Well, I'm so glad you could be here for a little while. And I hope you have a good time at work, and I hope it's not too rough for you. And I hope to see you around one of my casts again sometime. Sakura Cinnamon, it was nice to have you. An empty expanse of wheat fields and farming land can be seen as we walk up, the fencing only consisting of rickety old wooden planks. It really drives home how far we are from the major cities, and is a sight that feels and I'm reading that word, I have not read that one in a while, antithetical to the environment I grew up in. Okay, so the opposites. This is so basically it's the opposite of what he's familiar with. You know, there are military linguists out there that act as translators and foreign relations agents. That is really amazing, and it does not surprise me. If you're going to be in the military, you have to be prepared to know a lot of languages. And it also does not surprise me, as I'm seeing in chat here, that the language training is pretty intense. I imagine the language learning training is pretty much like any other training you'd go into in the Army or Armed Forces. It's not for the faint of heart. The only thing that doesn't surprise me is its Western styling. Wow, it's amazing out here, says Hisao. Hanako says, it's wonderful. And Lily says, that's nice to hear. While Akira may have said that she kept the house in reasonable condition, I was worried that we might have a different standards of reasonable. Yeah, I can see why she'd be worried about that. I think that would be wonderful, Bird. I think if you keep doing what you're doing, I think as all of us in the disability community, as long as those of us who are able to continue to serve our community and improve our own lives at the same time, I'm sure we will be able to give back. It looks like there isn't another soul for miles. I thought Akira would be the type to keep to the city, says Hisao. I'm sure she typically is. Lily furrows her brow in thought, seemingly recalling almost forgotten knowledge. From memory, there's a small town not too far ahead. Other than that, though, this is largely just old farmland. Akira and I stayed in our parents' house, which was in the nearest city for a while, but after they left, we decided to move to a smaller, more easily maintainable house. Hisao says to find a place like this in Japan nowadays, it's kind of anachronistic. Well, this town does have quite a bit of history, says Lily, as I look down the street one last time before getting back to the task at hand. Shall we go in then? I'm parched. No better time than now to start learning, I agree. There's no better time like the present to learn whatever it is you want to learn. Hanako says it was a long walk to get here. Lily gives an enthusiastic nod, the three of us lugging our bags into the house. Nice. As soon as we set a foot inside, Hanako and I start looking around, taking in every detail of where we'll be staying for the next few days. All the artifacts of another's life stopped mid-motion are around the house, such as the television guide lying beside the counter it was on, and pans in the adjoining kitchen still sitting on the stove. I'm gonna give some headpats to chat. Okay, you ready? I'm gonna give some headpats to chat. There you go, chat. Headpats for all of you. With my mage hand. My special new extra one. And I'm gonna have to put on a redeem for that now. That chat and other things can get mage hand headpats now. Yay! Headpats for chat. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna just leave that mage hand over there for now, in case we want to do it again. It's a strange feeling, really, as if we were stepping into Akira's life for a brief moment before leaving in a couple of days, just as we'd come. Of course, the more mundane reality is that she just hasn't cleaned up after herself that well. Oof, yeah. This is the best chat ever. That's a lovely idea to headpat chat. I know I actually got it from watching another streamer who actually did that with their chat. So I was like, you know what? That's pretty cute. So since I figured out a way to conjure another mage hand, I thought, why not? My chat does a lot of sweet things for people, so why not give chat headpats? I don't know how well it's gonna be set up for, like, all kinds of disabled people. I think it might be a little bit more accessible to Lily, perhaps, in that there might be some more things that she's familiar with because of how it's laid out and things like that, but I don't know if this is gonna have any ramps or any other things like that that might be considered like accessible. Where should we put our bags? Because the one thing about this visual novel is that it does not have a wheelchair user as one of the people with disabilities in this particular one. So we have all sorts of disabilities. We have students who use prosthetic limbs. We have students who are blind. We have students who are deaf. We have students who have emotional and cognitive sorts of disabilities, but the one thing we don't have in this visual novel is a wheelchair user. I'm curious how it handles the blind. I'm curious too, to see if they have any extra things that they put in here to help Lily out. I'll show Hanako our bedroom. You can put yours here if you like. You mean I don't have the same bedroom as you do? Hisao! What in the nine hells? Why would you have the same bedroom as them? You are a dude. They are not going to immediately put you in the same room. You get your own room. Hanako flowers into a full blush as Lily takes her cheek in her hand. Oh my, how bold. Really, Hisao? I mean, I know they're beautiful and I know we kind of like Lily, but that assumption, my goddess, that's a bit forward. Anyway, moving on. You two, hold on. It says Hisao, if I'm to leave my bags here, where will I be sleeping? Well, seeing as we lack a guest bedroom, you're gonna be sleeping out on this couch out here, whatever this is out here. You're sleeping out in the living room. The convertible futon, huh? Yep. Sorry, Hisao. You get the couch, boy. I sigh, lamenting my place on the bottom rung of sleeping location priorities. It could be worse, Hisao. You want to sleep outside? I guess there's no choice. Lily leaves to show Hanako to their bedroom, and I take a small tour of my surroundings after I drop my bag on the floor. Hisao, please make sure your bag is to the side so that Lily doesn't trip on it. Don't just leave it on the floor anywhere, please. The kitchen, just like the living room, is fairly modest. The rustic nature of the wooden furnishing drives home just how far we are from civilization. And yet we have a pretty nice microwave thing. If that is a microwave, I think. Yes. That looks like exactly what I've seen in my Scryball when people say that they have a microwave. Looks pretty nice. It's basically an instant prestidigitation machine as far as warming one's food. Very handy. Returning to the living room, I decide to try out the television until they get back. With a touch of the remote, it immediately flickers to life, apparently set to a news channel. Almost flopping down from exhaustion rather than sitting, I lay back and watch, and watch, and watch. And we're asleep. Huh? Hisao. What? Oh. I quickly blinked myself awake. Blinked to wake myself up. Lily and Hanako having returned, minus their bags. From the Hokkaido night sky visible outside the windows, it looks like I drifted off to sleep. Looking at the wall-mounted clock, it's already 10. Lily says, "You found the television then?" Asylum! Welcome! It's been forever! Good to see you! I'm so happy to see you here with me today. It's been a while. How are you? And thank you, Infinity, for that posture check. Let me just shake myself out here. Ah, very nice. There we go. You know, Tiefy, I hear on the Skynet that some artificers somewhere have made an item similar to the microwave, and they call it an abracadabrus. I must know more, Collie. Let me guess, you just say abracadabra when you put your item in and it gets all warmed up. I'm doing quite well, thank you for asking. Okay, hold on. I'm getting my windows and my scribble here situated. Yeah, it really does feel nice and homey here. I'm glad you like it. Ooh, let me check this out. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna read this out loud because I want to. Abracadabras. Wondrous item, very rare. An abracadabras is an ornate gemstone-studded wooden chest that weighs 25 pounds while empty. Its interior compartment is a cube measuring 1.5 feet on a side. The chest has 20 charges. A creature can use an action to touch the closed lid of the chest and expand one of the chest charges while naming one or more non-magical objects, including raw materials, foodstuffs, and liquids, worth a total of 1 gold piece or less. The named objects magically appear in the chest, like water skin or food rations or something like that, provided they can all fit inside it and the chest doesn't contain anything else. For example, the chest can conjure a plate of strawberries, delicious, a bowl of hot soup, fantastic, a flagon of water, a stuffed animal, or a bag of 20 caltrops, deadly. Food and drink conjured by the chest are delicious, and they spoil, oh dear, if not consumed after 24 hours. Well, then we need another kind of chest, a chest of preservation, so that our food doesn't go bad within 24 hours. Gems and precious materials or metals created by the chest disappear after 1 minute. The chest regains 1d expended charges daily at dawn. If the item's last charge is expended, roll a d20 on a 1. The chest loses its magic and becomes an ordinary chest, and its gemstones turn to dust. Oh dear. Okay. Well, you don't want to overdo it then. For real. That sounds like a very sweet magic item. I'm gonna have to talk with my father-in-law about that and see if he has any plans to get such an item for our castle, because that would be so nice to have one. Okay. After that little awesome D&D aside, it's time to get back to the visual novel. So combine the two and your problem and your item problems are solved. Yes, indeed. Which is good because then you'll be able to save money and gold pieces and silver pieces on all the food you're not wasting. Lily says you were already out like a light when we came back after unpacking our things, so we didn't have the heart to wake you sooner. Aw, that's sweet of them. Judging from her giggle, I must sound funny when I sleep. I swiftly decide not to inquire. Hanako says there's some dinner waiting for you in the kitchen. Oh, that's sweet of them. They cooked for him. That's nice. Okay. Oh, interesting. Let me read what you say here, Bird. Alexa in it nowadays. Okay, so like an unseen servant. Disabled people get a new microwave. I wish I had it when I was a kid. Have you seen a microwave like that? No, I have not, but now I want to go find one and check it out. Ooh, that would be so accessible to just do that stuff with my voice. Ooh. That would take care of some of the issue, for sure. Asylum says, I would stay for longer, but I'm tired. I feel like my head is going to drop on my keyboard and type nonsense, so I will go to sleep now. Have a good night. I will, you too. I hope to see you around again sometime soon, okay? It's been way too long, and you have been a joy to have on my streams in the past. So I hope to see you sometime later. Maybe we'll catch each other next time I'm working my magic. Go ahead and post the link if you'd like. I'd love to take a look. Hanako gives a deep yawn, only just remembering to cover her mouth. At the last second. My, are you tired? She probably is after being on that train ride and then doing all the things. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So the Alexa thing is required. Okay. I'm gonna have to do some more research on this and see just what you can do with it. Very cool. And this is another reason I'm a huge advocate of not curing disabilities. You know what I mean? Because if our main goal of research and development is to cure disabilities, then no one has any reason to make these kinds of items, these kinds of magic items that are more accessible with people, for people with disabilities. You understand what I'm saying? That if our whole goal is to eradicate disability from existence, as if that's what we should use our brain power for, my goddess, we are missing out on the possibility and the need to create more accessible technology. Have a good night's sleep, Asylum. Please do. I didn't get much sleep last night, says Hanako. You're doing that posture check again, 'cause you know we gotta stay loosened up here. Thank you, Infinity. I'm sure that it will be able to help me out. Anything that I can do with a bit of a vocal command could be very useful, but I will have to check it out and see. Hisao says, I'm pretty tired too. It was a long walk up here, and it's getting late. If that's the case, I suppose we should retire for the night. Good night, Hisao. Good night, says Hanako. And we're sleeping on the couch, but it's probably not a big deal. And Hisao says, night. With that, they quietly turn and walk to their bedroom. Drinking some water. Sorry if that was overly loud. Rubbing my eyes, I sigh. I wonder if I'll be able to get back to sleep after being woken up. That is how it is sometimes, isn't it? You're sleeping really deeply and really peacefully, and then you get woken up, and then you're like, I can't sleep. And then you end up staying up for the whole rest of the night because you can't sleep. Let's just hope that doesn't happen here. I suppose I'll eat something and watch some more TV quietly before going to bed. Okay, so yay, we reached another chapter break, so we get Wiggles, which I kind of figured was going to happen. And, of course, we have Hanako asking us that very important question. But what I need to do, and what I should do here, before we proceed further, is I need to figure out how much longer Kazane is gonna be streaming, if she is still planning to stream tonight, because I want to make sure that I don't go so long that I'm not able to help her out. Or if she's even started yet. Okay, I don't see her on in my scribble here. So Kazane, if you still happen to be here, please let me know if you are planning to stream tonight at all. I would like to know so that if you are planning to, I can give you a hand. And if not, that's okay too. I would just like to know so that if I am going to give you a raid and give you some help, that I plan that accordingly before going too much longer and accidentally, missing you. I'm going to give her a few minutes in case she still happens to be in my chat. Okay. So you're planning to start in a few. Okay. So maybe I have time for maybe one more chapter. And then I will plan to raid you. Does that sound good? I think that sounds about right, seeing as it takes me about half an hour-ish to finish a chapter. And then that way it'll give you time to get set up and me time to get through a bit more of this visual novel before giving you a lift. You can cook, you can set timers. Very neat, Bird. I will have to check that out. Okay. Well, then I will plan on that then, Kazane. How about it? At least one more chapter, and then I will plan to send my lovelies on to you for the evening so that they can continue to support you. Lily says, I think so. I'm not. I am, however, incredibly tired. It's getting late in the morning, says Hanako. I know that. He likely stayed up to watch television. I could hear it from our bedroom. Oh no. Well, then again, like my friend Mia's, she has really good sense of hearing, and she is also blind. So that seems pretty accurate to me. Yes, Kazane is very good when she streams. I enjoy her a lot. Only because I couldn't get to sleep. Should we wake him? Says Hanako. Don't do that, Hanako, please. No, we should leave him. I doubt he'd want to be woken up early if he didn't get much sleep during the night. That's a good thought. Thank you, Lily. Besides, he sounds so peaceful, it would be a shame to wake him when he's like this. I keep a straight face, so it's nice she cares so much, though. Hanako, could you go to the fridge and fish out what's needed to make lunch? Alright, just the vegetables and rice? That should be enough. We only need something simple as we can eat in town later. She has the same voice I used to have as a kid, so I understand her pretty well. She's so cheerful, she really is. I love Kazane's laugh, it's so cute. It's so precious. Hanako's footsteps on the carpeted floor can be heard moving away from the living room. As they do, I feel Lily's hand gently rest on my chest. Oh, she's checking to make sure he's okay. It takes a titanic effort not to react, but something about her makes me think she knows I'm awake. A long silence passes. The only thought in my mind is of that gentle outstretched hand laying upon my chest. That's so cute. I'm sorry, but that's adorable. That's so cute. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's so romantic. After an indiscernible amount of time, Lily withdraws her hand. Good morning, Hisao. She does know he's awake. She does know. Of course she does. Welcome back, Alexis. Good to have you. It's been a while. How are you doing? And we finally decide to wake up. Conceding defeat is all too easy. I prop myself up and rub my eyes. How'd you know? Your breathing was off. Oh, of course it was something like that. Well, that makes sense. She couldn't have needed that long to work it out. Knowing her hearing, she likely knew before laying her hand on me. Hisao, she wanted to lay her hand on you because she likes you. You know? Because she's starting to think of you as more than just a friend. Maybe that's why she put her hand on you. Hand on your heart, more specifically. That's so cute. If you want to sleep more, you should really go to bed earlier. I heard the television going long into the night. Hisao says, sorry about that. My medications have been interfering with my sleep for a while now. Even if I'm tired, I have trouble actually sleeping. Oh no. Have a good lurk, Minerva. You will now get a bonus to your stealth checks. I'm sorry for bringing it up. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. I'm sure he's not gonna get butthurt over it. I'm sure it's fine. I sigh. I sigh. This is exactly the kind of thing I wish others wouldn't do. I'm guessing apologizing for, bringing it up. Well, first, you know what we gotta do? Now that we have a choice, we need to save. And we need to create a new save. Because we're at a choice point. Where did Minerva go? Well, calling with that 14, you don't No, you have no idea where they went. They seem to have not even left a trace. Okay, we're gonna return. I don't know. I feel like I would be the kind of person to address it. And I feel like Lily would be the kind of person who would want us to address it. So I'm gonna address this. Hisao says, come on, you worry about me more than I do at times. It just means I have to sleep a bit longer, that's all. Yes, I do. I think we all kind of do. But you know, it's important to have romantic moments with the right person. Because there are a lot of people who think they want romance and think they want intimacy and can't handle it. And don't know how to handle other people correctly. I'm doing fairly well myself. I have been trying to stream and cast more during March, which is Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month, which is why I have that green ribbon on my stream and on my my Scriball. So I've been doing what I can to make more disability-related content. I started looking at some Hoseki no Kuni, aka Land of the Lustrous, because to me that has a big disability series of dialogues in it. And I just decided to do some Katawa Shoujo today because we looked at the other visual novel, If My Heart Had Wings, last time. And my goddess, it continues to insult my dedication to it, so I thought, you know what? I'm gonna do the other visual novel and contrast it with that one and show people how you handle disability dialogues correctly. Ooh, Yuri visual novels. If you know of any good ones, I want to know of them, but only if they are Twitch friendly, because I don't want to get bonked or silenced or banished from Twitch because I'm doing things that they don't like me doing. We will, Bird. We'll be okay. We'll get there. We'll have a lot more fun and all that stuff. I promise you. It's just we all go through like difficult times, and the fact that you want to help so much means a lot. I would rather have people really want to help Kazane than have no interest in helping her. And by the way, I am doing a fundraiser for my friend Kazane by casting and streaming for the rest of the month because they have an interesting financial situation right now. So I'm doing what I can to help them. And it's very, very good that they finally reached affiliate. That is one bright spot in some other things that have happened for them recently. So I'm very glad for that, but now, she's got kind of a whole host of other issues, so I'm doing what I can to try to assist. I wish I could do a chat with you one day to show my end of being disabled and how I dealt with it. Well, as Kali says, I do have some things in the works. So someday soon, that might be very possible indeed. But I'm not being public, or very public, I should say, about it yet. Because I need to make sure that I get some other things set up and some other things updated, before doing something like that. But still, I'd say that I look absolutely fine. I guess I wouldn't have a lot of meaning for you. Oh no. So, please stop putting your foot in your mouth. She gives a sigh of consternation before trailing off with an amused chuckle, giving up the point. Boy, you are so lucky you didn't make her upset. If you say so, please do take care of yourself, Hiso. Go on. Hanako could use some help. She moves to protest but reluctantly acquiesces and disappears into the kitchen, her hand running along the smooth white walls as she slowly walks. For a while, I sit and watch television in an attempt to wake myself up a little more, but it's futile. I don't have anything better to do, so I follow Lily's lead. Dude, are you gonna wash up? Are you gonna shave? Like, how about a morning routine? As I round the corner, I see Hanako and Lily's backs turned, quietly cutting food on the granite-covered counter. I am temporarily engrossed as I watch Lily guiding the knife down carefully with a finger on the cabbage she's cutting. Each slice delivered slowly but with precision. She seems a little slow, but considering that she can't see what she's doing, literally, but she can feel what she's doing, it's a small wonder she can cook at all, let alone for both her and Hanako. Well, they can do a lot of things by touch, you know, and they develop ways to cook without being able to see, but it relies a lot on sound, feel, smell, and many other things. Shave, but Tiefy, I don't want to shave my beard. Hey, that's fine. I have my uncle, Thorin, who doesn't like to shave either, but at least make sure your beard looks nice. Hi, Hanako. Lily, want any help? Oh, Hisao, you should have warned them that you were there because you just surprised Lily and she's probably gonna cut herself. Oops. Hisao. Lily, is that Hisao? Ah! Oh, good morning, Hisao. Lily jerks back in surprise before turning around, her yelp immediately drawing Hanako and me to her side. Oh dear. I'd like to stream with you again for phase 1 of my project's review portion due in April. That would be lovely. I'm gonna definitely make sure that, I'm ready for that, and I need some advance notice about when you want to do that so I can make sure to prepare and put my best forward for that, because that sounds like an important thing and I want to absolutely give it my best. Yeah, but that's because he's an ex-dwarf. They're all about their beards. Collie, you are so glad. You should be so glad that my uncle is not around right now to have read that. Because he would seriously take issue. he might diggy a hole for you out in the green part behind the keep. Or he might agree with you. I don't know how that would go. Oh no. She probably cut herself. A small trickle of scarlet falls downward from her pale fingertip, the knife having cut just deep enough to draw blood. With the television sound masking my footsteps, she must not have noticed me coming. To compensate for having to use touch to guide everything she does during cooking, she must have to pay extra attention. And this is true, and this is probably why people who are blind or who have other disabilities that heavily rely on their hearing can't have extra things going on. Because otherwise it's gonna really get in the way of them being able to function properly. Hanako says, Lily! Don't worry, Hanako, it's just a small wound. I love to watch people cook. I love to give people directions when they cook too. It can be a challenge, but I'm slowly learning much better than I used to be, and that's why you should keep going at things, because you will get better over time. You should still get a band-aid on it, at least until it stops bleeding. First aid stuff would be in the bathroom, right, Sisisa? I love cooking pizza. It's my favorite things beside pasta. Pasta is really good. Homemade pizza is the best. That's kind of my interesting and most favorite kind of savory pie. Okay. Let me also... Okay. I think so. Will you be okay here, Hanako? Of course she will be, as long as, she can handle stuff and isn't afraid of the stove or anything because of fire stuff. Now, in my kingdom, this thing called pizza is a relatively new sort of pie, but I find that it's delicious, and it is also quite messy. I love chicken pot pies. Those are actually another one of my favorite things. I usually go to my mom's if I want homemade pizza. Oh, that's very sweet. He opens the door. Collie, I love it. I love how we're just taking away from this very dramatic moment with all the dwarf and dicky hole references. I like it. I frown at how little heed she's paying to herself as Hanako gives a quick, almost automatic nod. It's fine, I can keep making lunch, says Hanako. I've seen a new flavor. Oh, please do, that would be lovely. I'm always interested in new, interesting combinations. Okay, we're in the bathroom now. An awkward silence reigns as I set the bottle of antiseptic and a box of Band-Aids on the side of the sink. Lily's finger held out for me to treat. The lid of the bottle comes off with a minimum of resistance, and the small ball of cotton I soak in the liquid stains a pale green. Okay, hold still, this will probably hurt a bit. She gives a small nod as I take a hold of her hand to steady it. With all the tenderness I can muster, I gently bring the dampened wad to the small red line. Ah, oh, that That's so cute. I'm sorry. I know he's like treating a wound, but it's so adorable. That he's just being so gentle and gentlemanly. Also, that is a good point, Black Rose. First aid pro tip, only use antiseptic if you don't have water to flush the wound with. Oh, so that's like a stuffed pizza inside of the crust. I have seen those. Those are also kind of new to my kingdom. But if I see them again next time I go out for a meal, I shall have to try one. Hisao, what? I barely touched it. Sorry. I give a sigh both in her reaction and to settle my own nerves. Her pain tolerance is startlingly low. There we go. I would tell you to man up, but I can't really do that. Hisao. Oof. She's probably nervous about it because with her lack of sight, she doesn't know when it's gonna happen, so you might want to communicate with her. It might help her be less reactive, you know? She gives a small giggle and I take advantage of her momentary distraction and gently press the cotton against her finger a few times. Thankfully, it's enough to do the job. Yes, maybe we can suggest that to the local meat pie shop. Yes, the upper crust. We should make that suggestion. And now it really makes me want to have that for food later. Now up to Platinum 2. Congratulations, Infinity. It looks like you're making progress. Barbecue sauce. That sounds like an interesting choice. What about Woman Up? I know, right? Yes, exactly, Black Rose. Especially to someone with disabilities, always explain what you're doing before you do it. So that they don't have a bad reaction because they're not expecting it. And in fact, I've had to tell the physicians as much when I go into the kingdom for my checkups and things. I've had to tell the physicians, Madam or Sir, you must tell me what you're doing before you do it so that I don't spaz out or worse, accidentally conjure some mage hands and slap you. We both settle somewhat as I bring the band-aid over the tip of her finger, covering the wound while making sure not to get it stuck on her fingernail. There, finished. You can move now. Taking her hand from mine, she gently clasped it in the other. Thank you. It's no problem. It's the least I can do after causing you to hurt yourself after all. She lowers her head slightly at the apology, absent-mindedly rubbing her hand in what seems to be embarrassment. Now I'm just imagining TP slapping a physician. Okay, you got it. Yeah, don't touch me. Yeah, like that, except with a bunch of mage hands. I really don't mind. Her answer doesn't seem to make much sense, given that what happened is pretty clearly my fault. I can't help grimacing at her, despite the fact that her dainty smile still holds. She must not like being reminded of the limitations her lack of sight imposes on her. Yes, I think I think myself and the little soccer bean have something in common, possibly when it comes to that. But I don't think you can blame us given that we both have disabilities and have problems with people coming up to us and like touching us and doing weird stuff around us sometimes. I do need an emote like that. I really do. It's something I can't possibly fault her for. I've fallen prey to the same kind of feelings before, despite my condition not being nearly as ubiquitous in my life, meaning that he still feels shame around his own disabilities limitations. Therefore, he can relate to what he thinks that she must be feeling. Sis, I think the mini you is getting so lonely. Oh, I should give her some head pats then. I have a redeem for that. This is not quite the same. No, no. Unadulterated reaches is not the same. I am so dead right now. Who is casting Tasha's hideous laughter right now? I'm gonna die. I don't. I just looked over in the chat and there's Collie with my shaky, angry emo. I don't know. I'm broken. Okay. I need to see if I make my saves so that I stop laughing. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's roll it. Yay! Okay, I made my con save. I'm fine now. Thank goddess for that. It was almost an at 20. It basically is for me because I have a -1 to my con, so it's literally as good as we could do. Yeah, pretty much. Hey, for me, that's as good as it gets, literally. So the 19 is pretty much my nat 20 because that's as close as I'm gonna get when it's Constitution. I went ahead and had some water. I'm gonna take that mage hand off my mini me now. Okay. Doo-doo-doo. Okay. Yeah, we read that. Neither of us any the happier. We head back to the various smells of cooking food coming from the kitchen. I lay out the plates of food, steam slowly rising from the well-cooked rice and curry dishes, while Hanako lays out the cutlery. Knife on one side, fork on the other, Western. How perfectly fitting for someone like Lily. As we take our seats, taking careful heed of the dark red tablecloth hanging below our knees, Lily emerges from the kitchen. You need a way to boost your con saves of the caster. Losing concentrations on spells hurts. Yes, it's very dangerous. Now I want some ice cream. I'm such a foodie. My little baby Sakura is the same way. She is a complete foodie, and so I bet she could totally relate with you on that. And probably after I finish this cast, I will be getting myself some food as well. But for now, let's see if we can get to the end of this chapter. Hopefully, it's not a huge, long one. In her hands are 3 glasses and a bottle of wine. Whoa, technically, we're not old enough to be drinking in this visual novel. Again, a little bit irresponsible, but we're not technically at school, so it's okay, I guess. And also, we're going to put my glasses back on because I must have taken them off in the middle of laughing so hard. Okay, we got our glasses back on. As I recall our previous run-in with that devilish elixir, I hide my face in my palm. Now I enjoy such good food, because I went on an Alaskan cruise, so now I enjoy food so much more. That is amazing. Lily is older than everybody here. She is old enough to drink. I believe. I know that Hisao and Hanako, I don't believe they are. And there was this weird scene where they were actually drinking some wine in the girls' dorm room the last time that we actually did some of this. Yeah, but still, it's a little bit, I mean, technically they're not on school grounds. Technically they're on vacation, so Alcohol? Seriously? She pauses as she reaches the table, a playful grin perched on her face. Akira specifically gave permission to take a bottle from her collection. Yeah, you weren't there for that one, Collie. I don't remember what you were doing, but I think you had some very important castle business to take care of on that particular day. Not only does she give alcohol to minors, she even lets them pilfer their own. The perfect model of a responsible adult. Akira is not. I can drink wine. The question is, Cully, should I? I am, yes, in fact, old enough to drink and do many things. But because my constitution is what it is, I will be down underneath the table and off my arcane disc with a half a glass of wine. So, I like to drink it, but I don't have a lot of tolerance for alcohol. I'm a bit of a lightweight. More to the point, though, is that this is hardly a meal deserving of alcohol. I'm starting to think Lily's the type to easily become hooked on things. Oh, dear. Oh, no. Uh-oh. That's not really the problem. I don't have any qualms with it, but didn't you have a bad experience with it last time? Last time was likely due to drinking too much, so a single glass shouldn't prove a problem. Think of it as a learning experience. I would say that it does help with relaxing the muscles and helping me be a lot less spastic. I think it's also good for like getting me to just chill out, and I become a very relaxed, very intimate person, let's say, when I have some alcohol. So, depending on your point of view, I might be very fun to be around. I love to swim. I have not been swimming in a long time, mostly due to the pandemic and a lot of the stuff going on, because I don't really like the idea of getting into a small pool of water shared by other people who are breathing and getting their fluids in that pool everywhere and not knowing where people have been. But I love to swim. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. I get very cuddly and very sweet and very silly when I'm drunk. So I think that that might make me quite the interesting person to be around. Yeah, it's a germ pool under normal circumstances. Just go for a swim. Well, let's put it this way. Maybe if I can get out to my swimming pool at a time when there are not a lot of other warm bodies in the pool, I might get in. I can't recall many learning experiences that made me feel rotten before putting me to sleep, but I'll take your word for it. She dips an uninjured finger inside to feel the liquid level. Tip against the bottom as the liquid rises up. The white of her finger almost seems to glow as the sunlight hits it, the delicate outline blurred and refracted by the glass. I actually do have a pretty large bathing pool at my castle, so I do like to use that from time to time for like soaking and letting my muscles relax. But that's different because it's a little private area for me to do my thing. I don't like to do a lot of swimming in that one because, my wings kind of pull me down a little bit. But it is very good for my muscles, and it is very good to do stretching in the warm water. Her fingers are definitely longer than mine, the kind I think are more suited to a pianist than a teacher. She'd likely have done well if she'd learned how to play. We quickly dig into our meal, forks and knives clattering against plates. None of us are particularly eager to speak while eating, Lily altogether too reserved for such a thing, and Hanako probably too shy to start a conversation, and myself being too busy savoring the food. Such a pedestrian activity, eating together at a table, seems so utterly normal, yet it makes me realize how long it's been since I've done something like this. I love how they felt the need to use the word pedestrian. But it has been a long Well, since we've been to the beach. Oh, the beach! I would love to go there. That's why I'm so excited about the weather getting warmer around the castle. Oh, it's gonna be so nice to go to the beach and just take a swim, just put my feet in the water, just lay out and sunbathe. Ah, yes. And also have a reason to put on a new outfit that I got. I wasn't able to really wear it last year because by the time I got in and got my swimsuit and all my nice pretty things, the summer season was over. So this year, I will actually have a reason to put on my little bit of summer wear, which will be nice. And yes, I kind of just spoiled what it was, but it's not like you couldn't figure out what it might be. But yes, I have some things I've been waiting for the weather to get nicer so I can put them on. Okay. Just the three of us sitting around a single table eating as if we were a malformed family. Oof. Why malformed? Like, why? Hisao. Hello. Was that even necessary? Like, you're just an interesting family. Why do you have to use the word malformed? That's so charged. My goodness. Oh, yeah, I know you all have been waiting for that fabled outfit. And I've been waiting for a reason to enjoy having it on. Maybe this trip, as far away from everything as we are, was worth it. It takes quite a long time, but eventually we finish our surprisingly filling meal. The wine, thankfully, has little effect given that we only had a glass or two each. That would not be me. That would not be me. I would already be drunk and having a good old time by myself. Even after half a glass. And after a full glass, I would be out. I slumped back into the seat, rubbing my stomach contentedly. I'm stuffed, says Hisa. Dag out her voice. Come to the beach, Tiefy. Officially, and not by wild magic. Yes, exactly. Please clip that. I love to eat too, man. I think everybody loves to eat at some way. Like, I think that's one of the few pleasures many different kinds of humanoids can agree on. Lily pats her mouth with a napkin twice, only twice, and with evenly timed intervals in between. It's hard to tell sometimes whether how she acts is a well trained routine or a well rehearsed act. Oh boy. Well, I'd say maybe a little bit of both. Because coming from a wealthy family, she probably has a lot of things about etiquette and the way that she's supposed to do things and the way that she's supposed to go by them. I'm sure that she has been trained in a lot of etiquette rituals, so to speak. I would know, being a princess myself. You have very specific rituals about how you're supposed to do things, even something as quote simple as having a meal. I think I must be as well. Did you like it, Hanako? It was nice. Now that we're fed, she'll whip you off. Wait, Are you serious? Are we actually gonna, like, go walk around now that we're full? Are you kidding me? After a meal like that, I would need to nap. I would need to, like, rest for a little while before we just go off and walk to, like, the nearest town. More of a queen, eh? Well, I'm very flattered. I'm very flattered that you think of me as a queen. That means a lot. It really does. Because I know that my outfit is not typical royal attire, and so I've even had some people be surprised and be like, TV, you're a princess? Like, you don't even dress like one. Like, we didn't even know you were a princess. So, to say that you see me as a queen rather than a princess is, like, amazing. It makes me feel really good. And yes, I have been feeling more like a queen, not so much a princess these days, but that's probably because my mother is training me now to be the queen when she is no longer able to be. So there's probably some good reason why even some of my energy has changed over the last couple of weeks. Yes, especially with Princess Sakura in the castle too. Yes. That is one other very, very good reason. Because that little sweetness gets to be much more the princess now. And because she's kind of like my adopted daughter, that kind of makes me like a queen by extension. So I think that's really amazing. Plus, you've been busy with our projects. And Infinity, what kind of projects? Might we be referencing here? It wouldn't have anything to do with that particular world I find myself sometimes dropped in for your amusement. Uh-huh. Oh, sure, the accessibility ones would then also include all those building efforts. Oh, you don't know what else I was thinking of. Okay, yes. Well, there are those. And there are the accessibility projects too, which I am very grateful for. Posture check again, I see. And hydrate. Very well. Plausible deniability. I feel like a butler or a helper because I love helping people. I don't know. I see you as very much a butler type, I would say, because you're very helpful. But I would also say maybe like a lord in your own right, because you have your own skills and your own life that you've built, which I think is amazing. So I would say you are a lord in your own right, which is why I kind of call all of my followers lords, ladies, and magic initiates, to kind of say that if you follow me, you are in some way or another equal to me. Off where? Oh no, we're gonna be walking for miles now. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to check out that clip later. I hope it's good. That's my old role before being engaged to TV, of course. Yes, indeed. You were my support bard and butler before you became, more than that. Ah, you weren't privy to the discussion between Hanako and me earlier. No, because he was either asleep or watching television. I get the impression that she's having a subtle dig at my sleeping in. We'll be going into the town nearby. Not that we can't have more, that's true. It does take so many turns. I like it. It keeps it on its toes, really. I guess I should have expected two girls to take a holiday as an excuse to go shopping, no matter where on the planet they may be. You are correct, sir. There's always a good time for shopping. I'm interested to see more around the north, though, so this can only be a good thing. Except I would be worried about moving and walking around and moving around so much after you just finished eating. That's probably going to create issues, isn't it? Like cramps. That sounds good. How long's the walk in then? A while, I'm guessing. It's supposed to be around a mile to a mile and a half. Thank goddess I have my disc. Goddess bless. Because at least then, if it's that far, I can just hover. I don't have to worry about walking that distance, but my goddess, the rest of them. Oh no, be careful, bird. Oh no. And that is another thing, is that other visual novel has very narrow choices and not very many opportunities to make a choice. So there are long stretches of If My Heart Had Wings where you literally have no choice you can make. Nearby, huh? Great. Just great. As we climb up the path surrounded by trees and undergrowth, I watch Lily and Hanako walking ahead. Oh dear, he's probably gonna have a little bit of trouble. I can feel it. The slight breeze all but whisked away any sound of Lily's cane gently tapping on the ground. I notice that Lily's since removed the band-aid now that the bleeding of her finger has stopped. A deep, lung-filling breath of fresh country air makes me wish all the harder that the air around home had been quite so clean. It can't even have been half a mile, but I'm already working up a sweat. It isn't a pleasantly cool day though, so I shouldn't be too hard on myself for it. Well, it's gonna make it even worse if it's hot. I did not see what he posted earlier. Let me briefly go check on that. Okay, I will take a look at that a bit more in a little bit so that I can give it my full attention. Hey Lily, how well do you know this town anyway? Since I spent quite a few of my vacations here up until I entered Yamako, I say I know it fairly well. We used to drive there once a weekend then. How I wish Akira was here to drive us now. I quickly take a moment to rub my hands a couple of times, staving off the oddly cold feeling in them. Oh dear. Oh, goddess. Okay, that does not sound good. He might be having a moment here pretty soon. Yeah, similar with me when I do kind of get off my assist disc and I have a little bit of help ambulating. I'm not very steady myself, so I completely understand. Did you like it up here? Says Hisao. I'd say it was nice during winter, but yes, as you can work out, summers get a little too hot for comfort. It's nice and quiet at least. My family's real house is quite far south. When they left Japan, my parents gave it to Akira and me. Only Akira lives there now, after my moving to Yamaku. Hisao, quiet certainly describes this place. Though lonely is how I'd put it. Other than the prophesied small town, there isn't another soul for miles around. Coming from a home nestled deep within the big city, it's certainly different. I think that if I'd not come to Yamaku, staying out in the country like this would be too much of a change to get used to. Rawr. Oh my goddess. We are getting raided. Thank you, Cuddly Muffin. Thank you. Welcome, raiders. Welcome, welcome. So glad you could be here with me this afternoon. Greetings to you as well, Cuddly. So good to see you. It's been a while. So, if any of you in my chat don't know of Cuddly Muffin, you absolutely must check him out. He is a sweet VTuber. He has a very, very unique presence. He is actually, I believe he calls himself a blobtuber. He is very cute. And you should definitely go follow him if you are not already. He is a total sweetheart, and I have enjoyed collabing with him in the past, and he has been a very, very dear friend. Yes, you are very cute. So, I am reading some more Katawa Shoujo this afternoon, and I am also trying to assist a friend and colleague of mine, Kazane, with her financial difficulties right now. She had a family emergency and as a result is unable to pay for the rest of her master's program without help. So I am doing what I can to help raise awareness and try to get her some more support for her financial needs, because her education is important and the work that she is doing is important and deserves to be supported. I hope it works out for her too. That's why I'm doing whatever I can to help. After getting accustomed to the school's isolation, though, the idea of living in a place such as this has become almost inviting. To be somewhere away from the hustle and bustle of the metropolitan centers. There we go, Tiefy. So, Hisao, have you been to Hokkaido before? Nah, I used to live down south, says Hisao, and we never really had any field trips or holidays up this far. Well, it's a new experience for you then. Yeah, it is. I'm surprised how nice it feels here. How about you, Hanako? Yes, I hope you had a good stream, Cuddly. I hope it was fun. She shakes her head from side to side. It's my first time too. Yay! So we're a couple of first timers in Hokkaido. Not, and maybe other things too, but we're not gonna go there. Morally complex. I I'm not sure whether I would call that a fun or interesting time. I tend to enjoy the morally complex sometimes, but it can also be difficult to manage mentally too if there's too much going on. Tiffy, what? I know, I know. I'm in a mood. As we continue walking, I begin to feel pins and needles in my legs. Oh dear. Okay, this is not a good situation. Okay, they should not be taking him on this little walk that they're doing. This is not a good idea. Um, he's gonna have an issue here. I can feel it. That is not a good sign if you're having pins and needles feelings in your legs. That is not a good sign. It's a little disturbing, given that there's no reason for it to be happening, except that you might be having a circulation problem or you might be having a heart problem. Could you two hold on a moment? I just need to. Is anything wrong? Hisao, you better tell them what's going on. Don't just be like, oh no, it's fine, nothing's happening. No, come on. Hisao, you need to tell them what's happening. Nah, I've just got pins and needles in. Hisao. Dude, stop. You need to tell them what's going on and you need to sit down. Wow, Cuddly, that sounds very interesting. That sounds very interesting. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna go ahead and do that posture check here. I'm gonna have to check out that visual novel because as someone who briefly thought about getting into counseling, that's a fascinating concept. Yay, Infinity, for that awesomely timed record scratch. You get inspiration. And I knew it! I knew it. Look, we're having the heart thing happening. And this is not good. My vocal cords suddenly become taut as my chest tightens instantaneously. I quickly pull my upper arm over it, trying to quell the shot of pain spreading through my entire body. Oh, goddess. Oh, goddess, no. Okay, we might be in the middle of having a heart situation. This is not good. I will definitely check that out. Hisao? Lily, he's not doing okay. We are not doing okay. And that face on Hanako should tell you we are not doing okay. Because she rarely wears that look. Lily's face is only mildly concerned, not knowing the sight which Hanako's recoiling from. I'm fine, just tired. Hisao! What the goddess is wrong with you? You are not fine! I remove my arm from my chest and force myself to begin walking. Do not supercrip yourself to death, Hisao. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's not a minor heart flutter. I don't think this one is gonna pass like the others, not with the tingling in your feet and the cold tips of your fingers. Hisao, don't be a dumbass. Okay. Okay, it only takes a couple of steps before my body violently revolts against me, my legs suddenly beginning to give way underneath me, and all the tension in my knees seeming to evaporate. Oh dear. Well, Hisao, you better get busy telling them that something really is wrong. Before I can react, they unusually give way under my weight, leaving me only just enough time to brace myself and fall onto all fours. Oh, that's not good. This is not good. Ah, damn. Hisao! Say something more than ah, damn. Hisao! I look up to her. I realize my face is still taut with pain, only adding that much more to her worrying. He's thinking he can just push through it like all the others. That's why I say he's gonna super crip himself to death. Because he's like, oh no, I can do it. It'll pass like all the others. No, dude, you're gonna die before you get out of this one if you don't tell them what's going on. Ah, okay. Hisao? Hanako, tell me what's going on. Hanako, tell me! Hanako quickly moves to my side as Lily almost panics, having little clue as to exactly how bad a condition I'm in. While she stands there petrified, I lower my face and take a deep breath. Okay. Oh boy. Here we go. That's an interesting image. I come to a realization that makes me endlessly irritated with my stupid self. Wow. With all the excitement of my new surroundings, I'd entirely neglected to take my medication last night or even this morning. Oh no. Taking another breath, the acute pain in my chest begins to die down as suddenly as it arrived. I'm sure a lot of them do, Colleen, with chronic fatigue and things like that. I'm sure they feel much the same way. Thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God. Well, you better be praising your maker, Hisao, because you could have very easily had this go a lot worse. And I'm frankly surprised that you're able to recover this even remotely. I know. I would be scared out of my mind if this was happening. As it does, I become acutely aware of the sweat by now pouring off my face and the two scared girls around me. Dude, this is about the time we need to turn back around. We need to save this trip for another day. Man, we don't need to do this right now. Hisao, says Lily. I'm fine. Lily, I'm fine. I know. I frankly think they should go back home. At least have him at home where he can take some of his, medication, man. I mean, this sounds like not the day to go and do this. I screw up my brow in an effort to lever myself up, but Hanako's arms quickly move to catch me if I fall as I stumble a bit before regaining my balance. I know, he deserves a bit of a bonk. He's being a bonker right now. Yeah, for real. Call out the healers, call out the help, do something. This is not a good idea, especially if they are already so far out from, most other people around them. This could be bad if they don't take care of it. I look to Lily and Hanako, worry written on both of their faces. I feel awful, utterly awful. And don't say because you're ruining this for them. They have a right to be worried about you. Bring over the alchemist with the healing potions. Yep, and somebody who knows how to help. Stabilize. I think we should go back. Yeah, Lily, I think that's a good idea. We need to go back now. And we may even need to be prepared to call an ambulance or somebody just to check on him. And do a medicine check. Princess Pout. Alright, let's do it. He's being such a baka, isn't he? Taking all those risks. Okay. Hisao. We need to go back. You are not doing well right now. I understand how you feel. But my goddess, please do not push this issue. Realizing the futility of protesting, I look away in frustration. Okay, boy pout time. He's pouting right now. But it's for your own good, man. If we don't go back now and you don't get regular on your medication, something really bad's gonna happen. Fine. There we go. Give him his proper pout moment there. Why not? And that's the end of a chapter. So guess what, lords, ladies, and magic initiates? We are going to call it there for tonight. Because that's what I said I was going to do. And that will make sure that I can give Kazane some love and support before it gets too late for her. So we're going to call the stuff with the visual novel here, but let me go ahead and save first. And then we're gonna quit from here. Yes. And that was really cute. Then he kind of had a tsundere moment. Thank you all so much for joining me for this stream, this cast. It was a great one. As you know, we are going to send some positivity. Golly, you scared me with that. As you know, we're gonna send some positivity to Kazane, and wrap up this cast with that. And thank you, Kali, for subscribing. You know you don't have to do that, but you have a 15-month streak, which is amazing and beautiful and wonderful of you. So thank you so much, Kali. And thank you so much to all you lords, ladies, and magic initiates for spending your afternoon with me. It means a lot. So I think we are going to have a raid message of comfy visual novel raid or something like that. And thank you, Leoric, for being here. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. If you can, please try to stick around for the raid so that we can be there and help Kazane. But until next time, I hope you lords, ladies, and magic initiates have a wonderful evening, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.